In the bustling city of New York, a man named Oliver Hale was known among the homeless as Ollie. He had a scruffy beard, unkempt hair, and wore ragged clothes that hung loosely on his thin frame. To the casual observer, he was just another drifter blending into the sea of faces that wandered the city streets. But what no one knew was that Oliver Hale was one of the wealthiest men in America. Oliver had been born into wealth, inheriting a vast fortune from his parents who owned a conglomerate of tech companies. However, Oliver found no joy in the world of the elite. At every social gathering, every gala, every business meeting, he saw people wearing masks, pretending to be someone they were not, driven by greed and power. It disgusted him. So one day, he decided to drop out of the corporate world entirely and do something different. He would live as a homeless man for a year. The experience was meant to be an experiment, a way for Oliver to understand the world from a different perspective. He had his driver drop him off in the middle of Manhattan, with nothing but the clothes on his back and a small backpack containing a few basic supplies. He told no one about his plan, not even his closest friends or his personal assistant, Martha, who had worked with him for years. At first, life on the streets was difficult. Oliver had always lived in luxury, and now he had to learn how to survive without it. The cold pavement was his bed, and he had to rely on soup kitchens for food. The stares from passers-by, the indifference of the crowd, and the dismissive gestures from those who clutched their purses a little tighter around him were all new experiences. Yet amidst the struggle, Oliver found something he hadn't expected. He found genuine people. He met Leroy, a former construction worker who lost everything after an injury. Leroy taught him how to navigate the shelters and where to find food. Then there was Clara, a woman who sang on the street corner every day. Her voice was filled with both sadness and hope, and she told Oliver stories of her dreams of becoming a singer before her life had taken a cruel turn. As the months passed, Oliver became an integral part of this hidden community. He realized that these people, unlike his former wealthy acquaintances, were real. They had nothing to hide and nothing to gain from him. Their kindness was unfeigned, their friendship true. One cold winter night, while sharing a makeshift fire with Leroy and Clara, Oliver had an idea. He was going to use his wealth to make a difference, but he needed to keep his identity a secret, at least for now. Oliver returned to his penthouse late one night, knowing Martha wouldn't be around. With a heavy heart and a determined mind, he reached out to his old contacts and initiated the creation of the Invisible Foundation. Designed to assist homeless individuals in rebuilding their lives, the foundation would provide essential services such as job training, mental health support, and temporary housing. The twist: Oliver refused to take any credit for it. Instead, he entrusted Martha to run the foundation anonymously, ensuring it operated without any ties to his name. Though puzzled by his unconventional request, Martha agreed, understanding that Oliver often had unique motives behind his actions. As the foundation gained traction, Oliver's friends from the streets began hearing about the opportunities it offered. Leroy landed a job as a site supervisor, thanks to the training program, and Clara was given a chance to record her soulful music, touching the hearts of many. The buzz about the mysterious benefactor grew, yet no one could uncover who was behind the invisible hands. One day, while volunteering at a shelter, Oliver listened to volunteers discussing the foundation's impact. Clara turned to him, expressing her gratitude and wishing she could thank the person responsible. Oliver smiled and simply replied, "Maybe they're one of us, just someone trying to make things a little better." Months later, as his one-year experiment neared its end, Oliver knew it was time to reveal the truth. He gathered Leroy, Clara, and a few other friends at a small diner, taking a deep breath before confessing his identity. Initially met with disbelief, the revelation that their scruffy companion was actually a millionaire astonished them. It wasn't until Martha walked in and confirmed the story that the group sat in stunned silence. Breaking the silence, Leroy remarked, "You could have just thrown money at the problem, but you lived it with us." Oliver nodded, understanding the weight of his actions. "Money can't buy understanding, but it can help change things when you know what needs changing," he replied. From that day forward, Oliver became known as the Invisible Millionaire, a man who chose to live among the unseen to truly understand them. Continuing his mission, Oliver worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between the wealthy and the invisible. His journey reaffirmed that true wealth lies not in possessions but in the ability to give and transform lives. He remained dedicated to the cause, forever changed by the path he had chosen, reminding the world that empathy and action can bring about meaningful change.